So welcome back to my page. Once again, I am Denise Brady, licensed marriage and family therapist. And today I want to go over why it's so hard to find a therapist of color who takes insurance. And so let me know what have been your experiences trying to find a therapist who takes insurance. Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, show me some love in the comments. And so let's get into it. So you've been trying to find a therapist. Actually, let's take it a step back, okay? You finally developed the courage to find a therapist. Let's start from there because that's where it really starts. You probably have been going through some things. Maybe a friend suggested it, a family member. And so for the longest time, you probably knew that you were struggling on your own. Or maybe you just recently came to terms with, I can't keep doing it by myself. And so you finally have the courage to find a therapist. So where do you go first? After months of struggling to just get the courage to find a therapist, most likely you go to Google and you start looking for therapists through your insurance. And so you probably go through maybe Psychology Today, maybe Therapy for Black Girls, and you start looking at all these therapists and you're realizing none of them take my insurance. I finally get the courage to find somebody who will help me, ask for help and support, and now I can't find nobody who takes my insurance. Number 2, maybe you finally found someone who takes your insurance, but they're booked. Okay, so we're going to talk about the things that happen with people's insurance and why therapists nowadays are not taking insurance. Me, myself, I do take insurance. You can look on my website, denisebrady.com. Actually, it's Denise Brady, licensed marriage and family therapist.com. And I'll put that in the comments below and also in the description. So let's get into it. So the first step was that acknowledging that you probably need help. Number 2, you went online to try and find a therapist, and one of 2 things probably happened. Either you couldn't find anyone who takes your insurance, or you found someone or people and they're all booked up. So we're going to focus more on you can't find anybody who takes insurance. A lot of people are not accepting insurance because there are a lot of hoops insurance companies make therapists jump through. And so as a result, it limits accessibility to people who need help because most people cannot afford a $100 session. They can't afford no $200 session. They can't afford a $250 session. And depending on where you are, some sessions might be $300. So it really limits access to people, but I'm not here to judge therapists for not taking insurance. Do whatever is best for your practice, and I'll do what's best for mine. And mine is to accept insurance. Insurance companies make therapists jump through a lot of hoops. It can be a struggle to get credentialed, to be put on a panel to accept insurance. Sometimes submitting paperwork to insurance companies to be a part of their provider directory can take months. I know for me, one of the insurance companies that I tried to get on, I think it took me a year. It took me a year of nonstop trying, just trying to make phone calls, get through customer service, get the runaround. But with due diligence, I was able to get on their panel. So as a therapist, you get on the panel, and then once you get on the panel, sometimes you realize after all that hard work of getting into their directory as a provider, they're only going to pay you $50 for a session. Okay, so if an insurance company is paying me $50 per client, but my private pay rate might be $200 an hour, $250, and I'm only being paid $50, most likely the therapist is going to say, why would I be a part of this insurance panel that made me go through hoops? They don't pay me on time, and they're only paying me $50. Whereas if I charge someone my private rate, I'm gonna make $200 an hour. And so that really is the truth about why therapists do not take insurance, is because $50 over $250, which one are you gonna choose? Okay, and so that's one reason. We also talked about how much of a hurdle it is to jump through hoops to get through these insurance companies, to get put on a panel. So the third reason is that a lot of times insurance companies put therapists through unneeded audits. And so they might be like, you saw Joey for 6 months for depression. Sorry, but we realize Joey wasn't probably that depressed and we want our money back. Okay, yeah, this happens to a lot of therapists. They're called clawbacks. And so they realize, actually, Joey seems like, according to our records and the notes that you sent us, he wasn't really that depressed. So we don't need you to send us that money back, okay? And we want it now. And so you saw Joey a year ago, you saw Joey maybe 6 months ago, and now all of a sudden, those 6 months of payments that you got from that insurance company, they're wanting that back, and you're expected to pay it back, or you'll be penalized, or sent to collections. So these are the real stories about why therapists don't. So I think that was reason number 3. Reason number 4 is that people feel like it's unpredictable. You don't know when you're going to get paid. You don't know if they'll, reach out for a clawback. You don't know if you'll even be paneled. And a lot of times nowadays, there are people out here who are saying they'll assist therapists with becoming paneled with insurance companies, because some therapists feel like it's a lot of work to go through the hassle of getting paneled solo. So they'll hire somebody to do all that stuff for them so they can focus on clients. And so there are a lot of scammers out there. So I've heard of a lot of people lately being scammed by people who say that they'll help you do all your paneling when really they're pocketing the money. They're stealing therapists' social security numbers, getting credit cards in their names, getting loans on their names. And so therapists don't find this out until it's too late. And they pull their credit reports, or they realize, wow, I haven't gotten paid by, say, Blue Shield in a long time. What's going on with my credentialing? And so they find they've been scammed by somebody. And now they've been seeing this client who has Blue Shield, who they're not authorized to see because they believe this person was really doing the paperwork. And so these are a lot of reasons about why therapists do not take insurance. They feel like it's just easier to have someone send me my money, my $200. I might do a little note and move on with my life. Okay. And all I have to think about is the needs of that client and them sending me my payment. Versus an insurance company, they might audit me. They might do clawbacks. I might get an authorization. I might not. I might get paid. I might not. And so those are all reasons about why therapists do not take insurance, and probably why you're struggling to find a therapist who takes insurance. But for me, I'm different. I'm kind of like a unicorn. I do EMDR and I take insurance. And there's something else I can't remember, but I do so much. But I take insurance because I got into this for accessibility, to provide services to people. And I'm not in it just for the money. I really want to help people. So with me, I take insurance. I help you coordinate your benefits. I know I'm going to be paid a little bit less. Okay. I know I might have to work a little bit harder, but that's just me. Okay. I want to help people and make mental health more accessible. And I know people are not all in it for the same reasons. Just like in any profession, there are good therapists, there are so-so therapists, and then you got your bad therapists. And so a lot of people for a long time, I would say, might be seeing therapists who are just like in the middle of those. And some people who see therapists who are pretty much, not want to say bad, but not the greatest. But because it took them so long to find somebody, they just stick with them. And that is a sad part of therapy, is that some people stick with providers because it was just so hard to find somebody. And their needs are not being met. They haven't been in a while. They don't have connection with the therapist. But that therapist takes my insurance. So let me know, what are your thoughts about therapists who take insurance versus those who don't? We'll get into it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Throw me some emojis in the comment section, make my videos more visible. And I appreciate y'all for coming. See you next time.